This is something completely different. A fever dream of the algorithm. Isn't this nice? Just a little reprieve from the rest of the world. Something else to fill your ears with. Nothing political, no front page horrors, nothing to bait and click. The only pot I'm trying to stir right now is my own, seeing what rises from the bottom of my cup. In 2006, David Lynch wrote Catching the Big Fish. He does not tell you exactly how to be creative, but he does explain how to be receptive to creative influence. He details his beliefs on the source of creativity and inspiration, and like the source of all things from the Upanishads and Carl Jung's collective unconscious, Lynch tells us about the unified field. It's the particles and constituents of creation. Things that are unmanifest. The no thing. The nothing. All exist in this field. Everything that is a thing has emerged from this field. Nothing is synonymous with everything. It is limitless potential. All of our minds are hooked up to a sea of infinite possibilities. We all have the ability to access this ocean, but whether or not we choose to fish in it is a whole other thing. The easy ideas are in the shallows, and just like fish, the bigger ones, the ones we might have to fight for, are out in the deep. If you catch and release, someone else may come along to snatch your idea up. That's not to say that this ocean isn't filled with near infinite permutations of fish, but if you're there to fish, you're there to catch. And if you catch something, do something with it. Run that thing, whatever it is, to its logical conclusion. From somewhere deep in the sea of the unconscious mind, this podcast is one of the fish that I caught. It's kind of like my page of cups. It's the fish in the percolator. An inspiration from the most unlikely sources. These unlikely sources are often surprising, crowned in synchronicity. Synchronicity is one of the love languages of the universe. A cosmic wink that makes you feel like you're in on some joke. I don't think it's any accident, though, that one of the most revered creators in human history is named after the sea. The Virgin Mother of Christ. Miriam. Maria. Mary. Mary shares the same root as the words marine and maritime. Del Mar, or the sea. Humans seem to have some innate understanding of the importance of the sea. Perhaps it's subconscious, and perhaps it's just obvious. Just as life sprang from the ocean in eons past, the Bible details how life sprang from a virgin source, a reflection of art imitating life. The same experience on a different trophic level. The inspiration for life seems to have originated from something cosmic, something divine. The Greek poet Hesiod described how Venus was born fully grown from the sea. Venus is the morning star, one of the first and last planets visible at dusk and at daybreak. She is also known as Aphrodite, shining up from the foam. created by the castration of Uranus when his own son Kronos cut off and tossed his genitals into the sea. She is the embodiment of love, creation, and creativity. The female counterpart to the masculine Mars, or Ares, god of war and courage. Perhaps another celestial hint at the origins of the name Mary, whose root could also be translated as bitter or rebellious, but not to disconnect it from militant words like martial or march, the verb and the noun. The third month of the year in the Gregorian calendar, March heralds the beginning of spring. It comes in like a lion and out like a lamb. The ferocious thunderstorms wash away whatever is left of winter to prepare the northern hemisphere for spring. Following astrological ages, the birth of Christ, the birth of the Lamb, marked the onset of the age of Pisces. And the age that immediately preceded that was the age of Aries. It's currently believed that the cults to Aphrodite derived from the Phoenician followers of Astarte. Western occultists may know her as the 29th spirit in the Ars Goetia, Astaroth. Astarte or Astaroth is possibly a cognate of a Mesopotamian goddess of love, war, and fertility, Ishtar. Times of chaos and strife become a breeding ground for creativity, spirituality, and cultural movements. Take a look at the Surrealist movement in post-World War I Europe. Dali, Magritte, Picasso. 100 years later, we're still seeing similar ripple effects from events on the world stage. If the 1920s saw classic works of art and the explosion of jazz, blues, and swing, what do the 2020s have? Just VTubers, influencers, TikTok, art, news, and science distilled into 30-second clips. Easily accessible, but distilled into something that is a shell of its former self and presented in ways beyond the original intention. I think this is what David Lynch may have been worried about when he made Twin Peaks. Laura Palmer's body wrapped in plastic, like Venus riding in on her shell. Lynch saw that people wanted bite-sized violence wrapped in plastic, like some cheap microwaved meal. This week, I'm keeping my eye on the donut and not the hole. If you're focusing on what's missing, you're not appreciating what it is that you have. Perception can be a funny thing. I used to frequent this cafe down the street from my office. Every day I'd make a habit of going for a coffee and a donut. One Halloween, they started making these amazing purple frosted donuts. Purple frosting with green sprinkles. I had never tasted anything like it before. Halloween came and went, and so did those purple frosted donuts with the green sprinkles. I had to ask, what did they put in those things that made them so good? Purple food dye. It was just a dressed up vanilla donut. The purple frosting came back a few months later when the Ravens were playing very well. But, sometimes things just are. We get lost in the details. Is it the frosting that made it better? Maybe it was just my routine. Being happy to be out of the office for a little while. Is it the hole that makes a donut? Does it matter? Soul treat. I think that's all I've got this week. Another broadcast sent out through the tendrils of Ethernet and HDMI. Out over the airwaves if you're mobile. Try your best not to get abducted. If we're not eating sunshine units by then, I will see you next time. Good night from Everyday Esoteric.